Yo, it's MTV Mike here. I got a special interview here today. We got here with us the CEO slash owner of Stash, Baba. Thank you for having me, Baba.
Thanks, Mike. No problem, man.
First question, honestly, would be, what does Stash means to you?
So Stash means a lot, man. It means a lot to me and it means a lot to my community. And that's what keeps pushing me forward to, continue to put out, new collections of clothes. Whether it's clothes, I do a little bit more than just clothes. We have the basketball league as well. And, just to continue to push that and see the joy it brings to my community, to my friends, it means a lot. So that's pretty much what Stash means to me.
Question two is, how did you come up with your own league?
So how I came up with my own league was just playing, growing up playing basketball. To be honest, I've been playing basketball for more than half of my life. I'm 30 now. I've probably been playing ball that I can remember since I was like 5. Just loved the game always. How the league came apart, Lonnie Walker renovated the Bear Park in around 2022, 2023. And that summer, it was a brand new, beautiful park, brand new courts, and one weekend I just decided to tell all my friends that I usually ball with on Saturday mornings to come down to Bear Park. We had about I think 10 teams the first weekend. It was just raw. I think we might have went skins and shirts, or we just knew who was on whose team pretty much, like how we do at the gym, and we just played pickup ball. It was 5 games. It's 10 teams, 5 games. And with my background with making clothes and stuff like that, the next weekend we had t-shirts. So that's how we started.
Third question is, I see you play your games at Pandora, Alves. Do you see yourself having any seasons here at Clinton?
Most definitely. That's something we actually have in the works. We have some things coming to Clinton that are long overdue, and it's definitely going to help out with the league in the summertime, especially because we play at Bear Park, and sometimes we have flash rain that is unexpected, and in the past we had to cancel beautiful games because it started raining and we didn't have an alternative location. Now with me being a director and having access to Clinton Street and it's right up the street from Bear Park, when those situations occur, there's going to be availability for us to come here and finish up the games, or continue on the game days if the day just started and it started to rain and we have maybe 2 or 3 more games to finish, we could just come up to Clinton Street and finish those games.
Um, Fourth question would be, what inspired you to start this league?
What inspired me to start this league? To be honest, uh, my community really, um, but just knowing that we had a void in men's basketball leagues in our area. Things were being, for lack of better words, gate kept. So only certain people was able to do certain things, and I'm all inclusive of my league. It don't matter if you aren't the best player or if you're a pro player. We have guys that play professionally. We have guys that never even made a high school or middle school basketball team playing in our league. We're all inclusive. It's a competitive league. It's a family atmosphere, and at the end of the day, it's fun. I've been doing this thing with basketball, like I said, most of my life. Uh, when I was very young, my father he put a basketball court across the street because he didn't want me traveling too far to the park, and that became like the neighborhood court. Everybody would come to that basketball court, and I would host, and I was 6, maybe 8, 9 years old, doing that up until like early teens. So that was kind of like the inception of me starting leagues or starting to host events with, that orange ball.
Next question would be, how would you describe the league in 3 words?
Family, culture, and innovation.
Okay. How would you how has the league changed since the first season?
League changed a lot, but the core values are still the same. Like I said, family, culture, fun. But our content has, changed drastically. We have some of the best photographers and videographers in the area coming to help with the content. We have jerseys. The first summer was just T-shirts. The second season was just penny jerseys, and now we got full design jerseys. Replica jerseys of NBA teams with the Stash Hoop logo over top. Some fresh new designs. Um, the team names have like improved. There's like more of a organizational standpoint with the teams. For example, it's just us. They come with their own, vibe and their own camaraderie with their team. They take it very serious. Also, teams like Ben Stamp, former champions of last winter, they're coming back ready to, do it again because they look at it as, a real organization. Whether it's like the NBA, G League, it's about having organizations and having your, core values within your team and, pushing that forward.
All right. Um, so with playoffs right around the corner, what team or player has caught your eye this season?
We got a couple. Off the top of my head, Isaac from SOG Elite. I just played against him last weekend, and I young and stuff. He could go. I wasn't familiar with his game, and he stepped on the scene and holding it down. And Stash was very impressed with him. Julian from Blessed. He's another newcomer to the league. He's tough. I think he's leading the league in scoring. He's at the top of most statistical categories in the league. Mikey from Ben Stamp. I've been playing against Mikey and watching Mikey play for most of his life. And to be honest, I'm very impressed with his game and the way he's been holding it down defensively. Um, Sharik from It's Just Us. I like It's Just Us. That's one of my favorite teams, to be honest, in the league right now. We got guys on every team that's tough. Camion Flowers from RG Finest, he came back and he's been hooping. He's been hooping these last couple of weeks. He got hurt last week, but he was on a tear of just he's a big guard, and he's just been holding it down. A couple other guys I want to show love to. Jose from Moneyball, my teammate. He had 16 and 18 last week. Man, he gets it done. He gets it done. Show some love to some more guys. Kente from DDNT, man, he's been cooking. He's been in that bag lately. He's fun to watch. He's definitely fun to watch.
The past few games, I've been seeing him just rising up.
Yeah, he's beginning to he gets up. What else, man, we got guys. Every team has somebody. Every team has somebody. Mike from Dollar Bills, he's been big over the last couple of weeks. One of the leading scorers in the league as well. Maybe the favorite for most improved. He's been out there doing his thing. Like I said, it's a lot of guys, and that's just the culture we bring. Like guys come to the Stash Hoops League to like put on. They're not coming here just to get a couple shots. That they take it serious and they want to put on. They want to be first team, second team, maybe third team, most improved, leader scorer, scoring champ. We have a bunch of awards that we put on at the end of the season, and it means something to the guys. People want to make for his team. They want to be MVP. Like one more person I want to shout out, Jadiel. He went crazy the other weekend. 65 points, 15 threes, both league records. He's just one of the best players that ever has ever come through Reading, PA. To be honest, state champion, 1,000 point scorer in 2 years. He does it. Like he could hoop. He could really play.
All right. My next question would be, would you see yourself collabing with any other league? Like, if you could find a league in PA, like, would you see yourself having like an all-star game, like your all-stars versus their all-stars, or something like that?
Um, yeah. If it makes sense, it just has to make sense. If it was going to be something like that, I would, like I said, it just has to make sense. I'm not opposed to collabing with a different league to put on like an all-star event or something like that. It just has to make sense and it has to be beneficial to both parties.
Yeah. Okay. Where do you want this league to be in like 3 to 5 years?
In 3 to 5 years, I want to expand. This summer we're expanding to having a women's league. Within the next 2 to 3 years, I want to have a youth league that's running corresponding with the men's and the women's league. Just want to continue to build on what we're already working on. You know, better streaming our games, have more ability maybe on Twitch, recording more on YouTube, working on the YouTube, more content creation because that's where the market's at right now. And I just want to continue to like put our guys that play in our league on a pedestal and women as well and our young kids. Like I said, I just want to keep building, keep branching off. I helped with the Olivet Youth League that was brought back last year. With our slogan, "We over me," I just want to continue to build and just push that forward, because it is we over me.
Okay. You mentioned about you having your own clothing brand. How is the process of like finding manufacturers and like producing your clothing?
It's really for manufacturers kind of like trial and error. You go to YouTube, try to figure out what's the best manufacturers. You can ask around, connections. I had the blessing of my brother having his own printing company, so there's a lot of things I was able to skip past, but also I needed to learn for myself. So the process is the process, just for anything, whether it's riding a bike, shooting the hoops. You gotta, find the basic foundations and build from that.
Okay. What type of quality is your clothing brand?
So my clothing brand, I like to say is high quality streetwear because that's really what I'm into. But I also want to expand into luxury. I love decor, so eventually make furniture and stuff like that. We did candles before. We have a pillow right here. We just continue to just build on what we already working on. Clothing, like I said, hats, just everything, just trying to like everything that I'm into, whether it's, sports, art, comics, video games. I like to bring everything and intertwine it into, the brand.
Okay. Seen what happened yesterday. Like, what is one advice you would give to the youth to like stay out of like harm's way and like try and stay safe?
My one thing I would say is be respectful. We come to play basketball. We don't come to be, anything other than that. Tough guys, gangsters. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mix with basketball. I've seen it time and time again. It just doesn't add up. So just respect the game and respect yourself. At the end of the day, and things like that won't happen. Being real with yourself, respecting yourself, and knowing when things aren't for you and when things are for you, and staying in that lane.
All right, Baba. Thank you for this special interview.
Most definitely.